With regard to the organ systems that we have in our body, there are 11 commonly recognized organ systems. Each contains organs that you should know, as well as their specific functions. Remember that all organ systems make up the organism, which is the most complicated of the levels of organization in the body. So, when I tell students about organ systems, I like to tell them to remember the organ system starting with the outermost layer of our body, which is, of course, the skin. And that would be the integumentary system. The interesting thing about the integumentary system is it's the largest organ system that we have in our body. So, if you can imagine spreading out the skin, it's going to be a huge surface area. And of course, that's very important for absorption of molecules, for protection, for acting like a natural raincoat that we have. So you need to know the name of the system, its functions, which are shown down here: protection, regulating body temperature, cutaneous receptors, synthesis of vitamin D, and the organs that are present would be the hair, skin and associated glands, as well as um, various other structures. The next two organ systems, we think about protection and movement. That would be the skeletal system. It provides support and protection. It's the site of what we call hemapoiesis, which is red blood cell production. It stores calcium and phosphorus, and it also provides sites for muscle attachment. So some of the um, parts of the skeletal system that we see here would be the skull, upper limb bones, sternum, rib, cartilage, vertebrae, sacrum, knee joint, lower limb bones. And we'll have several chapters on this later on during the semester. We'll have a chapter on the axial skeleton and also one on the appendicular skeleton. Shown on the right-hand side of your slide is the muscular system, important for body movement, generating heat, locomotion, movement in our environment, and various muscles highlighted are the orbicularis oris muscle, which acts kind of like a diaphragm that helps us to close our eyes. Sartorius muscle, which is the longest muscle in the body, as well as tendons. So our next slide is going to be the showing two systems that are important for communication. That would be, first of all, the nervous system. It's a very fast system. Stimuli travel in seconds throughout the body. It includes the brain and spinal cord as part of the central nervous system, and the nerves as part of our peripheral nervous system. Another important body organ system is the endocrine system, which also plays a role in communication, but it's much slower than the nervous system. It has glands and cells, which secrete hormones, chemical messengers, and it regulates the body and cellular growth. So, various organs found in this system are parathyroid glands, which are located in the neck region, the posterior surface of the thyroid gland. So, they're very small. The hypothalamus, pineal gland, and pituitary gland are all in the brain. The thyroid gland, thymus, adrenal glands, pancreas, and kidney, as well as ovaries in women and testes in males. Then we have a couple organ systems which play a role in containing vessels which transport various structures or various things throughout the body. The first one is the cardiovascular system. Some will call it the circulatory system. It contains the heart, which is a pump, pushes blood all throughout the body. Then we have blood vessels, which transports that blood throughout the body. So the main organs are the heart as well as the blood vessels. Other organ systems include the lymphatic system, which is also kind of synonymous with the immune system. And it's in the classification of having vessels, just like the cardiovascular system. In fact, the lymphatic vessels travel with a lot of the blood vessels in the cardiovascular system. So there are tonsils, the thymus, which is also part of the endocrine system, the thoracic duct. We have hundreds of lymph nodes all throughout our body. Three of the most common areas where we find lymph nodes are in the cervical region, the axillary region, the armpit, and also the inguinal region. Then we have a couple different organ systems which play a role in excretion, getting rid of waste products, one of which would be the respiratory system. And it, of course, transports oxygen and carbon dioxide into the lungs so that it can actually diffuse or be transported to the cardiovascular system to be distributed throughout the entire body. And we have organs like in the nose area, the windpipe, which is the trachea, the bronchi, lungs. Another excretory system is the digestive system, which mechanically and chemically digests food particles, then absorbs those nutrients, and then eventually expels waste products. The excretion that occurs in the respiratory system is that of carbon dioxide that we exhale. Organs found in the digestive system include things like the throat, the pharynx, the esophagus, liver, stomach, large and small intestine. Our last slide for the organ systems includes another excretory system, which is the urinary system, a very common one that we would think of. And the main organ, which is responsible for filtering the blood and removing waste products from it, would be the kidney. Then there are ureters, which are tubes that go from the kidney to the urinary bladder, and then finally a urethra. Lastly, we have the reproductive systems. There's a male reproductive system and a female reproductive system. The reproductive systems contain gonads, testes in the male, ovaries in the woman, and both of those gonads produce sex cells, which are gametes, like the sperm in the male and the oocyte in the female. They also produce sex hormones like testosterone, which is an androgen. So the word androgen is actually a male sex hormone. Then in the female, estrogens and progesterone. So organs in the female are of course, the ovary, uterus, vagina, fallopian or uterine tube, mammary glands. In the male would be the testes, urethra, prostate gland, ductus deferens or vas deferens, seminal vesicle, epididymis, and the penis. So um, those are the important organ systems that you should know for this unit.